George goes at Allen and throws it down. Largest lead of the night for Indiana.
PG for three.
He's taking great pride in knocking that one down.
Can't do any better, and he made it anyway.
Well, if he earns that, that's fine. Slate right in his face.
Paul George with the up fake.
Paul George showing that he can do just about whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Here's a step back jumper by Paul George. How do you defend that? I don't think you can.
Can't. Good hands by George Hill. Two-minute pass over the top of the head, and Lance finishes it. And the defense intensity, that was one possession here in this first quarter that was like that third quarter that we saw the other night.
Stevenson ahead now to Paul George. Nice pass to Hill.
And it becomes contagious. Lance has created a lot of this. I mean, for Lance Stevenson, for a lot of things that he's done, he's created the mentality for guys to continue to look for each other.
Off the steal, Paul George scoring for Indiana.
Wow, he made that look so easy. Paul George with a little light left.
Paul George with 19.
Skills, and there's a steal. Watch out, George. Showtime's it with the left hand.
Could it be that he's trying to impress you?
Then George stealing the pass, showing all kinds of moves and a nifty little finish. Paul George with 26 points. 20 since halftime.
Drives inside, floats, and scores.
My goodness, he stepped inside like he was going to the paint.
26 for Paul George. He and Stevenson have matched each other.
George will have it all to himself. Pacers by 3 on a 6-0 run. Indiana transition. George blows by his man, takes it strong, and throws it down. Whips it inside. The uncontested 360 from George. And Paul George taking over.
Desperation pass, and it gave Paul George a chance to get it.
Works on Jeff Green. Step back jumper by KG. It's good.
Maybe that'll get him some confidence.
The more he plays, the more wins the Mavs will have. It opens up Broadway for Paul George to go dunk it.
Great move. Paul George, who got his hand on the ball when Dwight Howard lost it, followed up for the dunk on the miss by Hill.
And the Pacers have tied it.
Yes, sir. Paul George gets a steal, and a very solid pass there by George Hill. G2 zones connecting.
3 offering ear-splitting approval. George, see, that's... You got to work a while to make that happen, and he's done that with regularity here.
Poked away by George. George will run and dump the ball.
Good defense, George.
Yeah, that was terrific defense. My goodness.
Working on by George. He'll go all the way. Did you see him take an angle on Dudley so Dudley couldn't even try and block that shot?
Heck of a play by George. He had 25 points overall. Goes one way, spins back, comes the other with a nice little reverse. That's the play of the game.
Much of his career at neutral as Paul George on the baseline.
Oh, he's ready for it tonight. Because Carroll did a nice job when the Pacers played the last time, and Carroll beats Paul George down the court.
And 13. Paul George.
He was deep. Worried about him getting frustrated. And there it is. This is triple-double. So you can see these guys enjoying it.
Now a stop there, and now George with the drive and reverse scores it and draws the foul.
Your help is going to be very tough coming when you get beat to the baseline.
Now Paul George.
Right through the lane.
George reads it. You can see Hibbert moving his man out. Clear path for Paul George.
Josh Smith with a block from behind, but George gets it back and jams it. Out of bounds on the shot by Josh. Heck of a block by Josh, but as Gregory said, too many Pacers around.
Paul George. 10-0 run.
Deuce there, making 77-70. Paul George feels it, fires, fills it up.
Paul George, as good as his reputation.
Yeah, he just got a triple-double there, folks. Another one for it. How about that? Yeah. I said, oh no, but he doesn't have much confidence in the jump shot at this juncture, because I thought he could have just pulled up and shot it right there.
George, and he finishes.
They go back door to George, and he gets the dunk.
front court, George. Indiana running up in the front court, and look what George just did.
His athleticism, he's so long and athletic, it's off the charts.
Splits the double team, and George, silky smooth in the lane.
How about the ability to avoid the charge after he splits that pick and roll?
10 of 20. George is fouled, and he makes it. Ties it up and a chance to grab the lead. It's 88-88, 6:05 to go.
Man, backing away and burying the jump shot. 2 of his 18, clearly showing why he is an all-star.
I just think sometimes you got to know why you're open. This guy, whether he's open or guarded, can hit shots.
Harden, the curl up, gets denied by George, but Beverly on the bump. Great block by George.
Inbounds back, and the block on Sheldon Mack.
Look at this. This is a double block by Mahinmi and George. Look, George gets beats, but he doesn't give up on the play. He has his man coming over there, and he's there, and that's what you want to see.
Pass after a couple of nice fakes to get free, and then the defense.
To the post, Paul George showing some moves at the rim. A spin and reverse dunk.
Great pass as he saw the help coming.
And Paul George throws it down.
I mean, Watson he's made some really good plays here in this second half.
89-68. The lead is 21. Paul George has 21. And he hits it.
With 7/10 of a second to play in the half. It's a big-time basket for Indiana.
George taking out his do-it-yourself kit as Paul George with a sweet move to the bucket.
It's a big-time basket for Indiana.
Leonard chasing, and even Danny Green couldn't stop that dunk.
Down the other end, George on the flush. Yeah, I love that. Not only that, that was an excellent pass to Paul George, who throws it down.
Well, there was assisted play as well. Concentration on the dribble.
Find inside from Hill.
I can't believe that. Fortunately, you know why Paul shot it? The shot clock should have reset. It hadn't reset.
Here's George falling away. Hits another off-balance shot. That's 35 points for Paul George.
Looking, George catches a three. Bang! At the buzzer. Paul George from downtown after Chalmers took a shot in the face.
George with 2, with 1. Shot on the way. Good! At the horn.
George, guarded by Millsap. Three-pointer is good. Paul George delivers in the clutch.
He got that swagger, too. He knows he's good.
Great defense by Paul George, David.
Overplayed the passing lane and throws another one down. His second big-time dunk tonight.
And here's a steal. PG is going to take it and pound it home.
There is refocus. The defense for the first 5 minutes. Back.
George stays on the floor and down the lane for 2.
To a baseline to freedom. 4 points a game. Here's George. 4-3. It's good for Paul George. Shooting 37%. You're wanting more as Paul George floats and scores.
All that kind of contact becomes incidental because of verticality.
George, what a difficult shot. And Paul George now starting to find a little range, as we've talked about all game long. Third quarter is his quarter.
Winds his way in. Got it.
And when the game was close, we said it in the open. Paul George not afraid to put the Pacers on his shoulders and carry them to victory.
They have a chance to regain the lead here with 4 to shoot. Paul George creates a shot and scores.
This guy brings it right out of his pocket.
George trying to add to it. Paul George.
Excellent job. 4 to shoot. George puts it in.
So you can't play him any better than that. He changed directions 3 different times and thought that he could make the next step.
Paul George, it is a 3! What a shot by PG!
That's hard to cover. A guy running to the corner away from the basket.
A lob to George, and the Pistons didn't see him. He now has 18.
Alley-oop, Paul George throws it down.
Yes!
I'd like to say, can that be the one on Fox Sports Live?
Raptors Jack are 4 and 2. Oh, backdoor cut, and Paul George with a slam dunk. That's in the rearview mirror. Either way, as Paul George gets to the bucket. And Indiana takes the lead for the first time since leading 7-5. Open shooter, weak side corner, foul on a make. For 3.
Oh,
George, I thought you admitted. Okay. Unless you put on tape. Reverse 360 through the legs.
Oh, that's nice. Come on, man, that is nice.
Here's Pete.
It's one to the left. Very patient with that. A lot of dribbling, but he was watching. He's patient.
George goes inside, scores, and a foul.
I'm telling you, Paul George, you don't expect to see this much, but the determination and his ball handling ability.
Paul George gets in and dunks it. He just found a way to get that thing on the glass.
This is good, man. This kid is a star.
You can't let him straight line to the back. Oh, yes!
Over the top to PG from Stevenson.
Paul George, what a great cut with a slam dunk.
They've had two of those tonight, but the Raptors have broken down in terms of the screen situation, communicating, getting hung up on it.
Oh, on top for Paul George! And the Pacers back on top with an exclamation point.
Drives on Williams, floats it up for two.
You can call it the Nowitzki, you call it anybody you want. That's a step back, one leg, drop it down. Now that's a difficult shot. And Tucker just makes sure he keeps a body on it, and Paul is able to make a tough shot from behind the back.
Here's Paul George, a three, got it, and a foul! A 4-point play, opportunity, three. Hit it, and got fouled!
Drill it, Paul. First shot he takes coming off the bench is a three.
And Paul, two more, count it, and a blocking foul.
That's why I say he's got legs. I mean, that's the difference. You see it.
George forces a shot, draws a foul, and puts it in. What a tough shot from George.
I'm telling you, this guy's an elite guy.
Frank Vogel's trying to get a timeout. A three. Bang! Paul George from downtown. What a fourth quarter performance from George.
Inside Mahimi, George counted and a foul. Mahimi with a huge offensive rebound, and George with a chance for a three-point play. George on a flush, Giannis tried to stay with it.
Man, he threw a fake on Giannis, and he went for that on that jumper, and you saw what George did.
Noah has forced it. George counted and a foul. Luol Deng was shaken up on the play.
Plan was a lot more aggressive. But look, Paul George, he must have got pushed. There's no way he dunks and falls down like that.
A 16-point win for the Indiana Pacers. Paul George gets in the basket and a foul.
That was one where he had made up his mind. I'm going to get to the rim. I got to get there.
This guy is one of the top 5, maybe top 3 players in the league.
And a little style for PG.
Beautiful play. Also a great job by David West.
He drives the floor. Paul George with a great rejection.
These are things you wonder why he was second in Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's second this year. Wonderful play by Paul George, not giving up on the play.
Finds Jonas and a block shot by George.
Chased down by Oladipo.
Blocked by Paul George. Welcome to the NBA.
No question, he came a long way to get that one.
Oladipo thought he might have his first dunk. Landry Fields. Orlando Johnson, a nice shot fake. And Paul George, the three! The extra pass. Paul gave it up to Orlando, and then Orlando got it right back to him.
Paul George has been an absolute superstar.
Paul George knows the dribble to the buzzer.
Got it!
They're alive and well in Indianapolis. A 31-13 haymaker, outscoring the Hawks in the third for the Pacers.
Paul George beats the buzzer with a three-point shot.
Oh, yeah. He was looking to make that happen.
Maybe that will be the one. Here's Paul George, his three. Banks in!
That counts.
PG banks it in. So Thornton hits the big three. And George comes back 3 seconds behind the arc. PG for three! Paul George!
That's why he wants it.
They're going to call it a 2 on the floor.
And I think they may be right. It looked to me like his foot might have stepped into it.
Paul George to the rim.
With Paul George getting to the rim, with showing his power, his teammates getting it out to him. and he's just making a fantastic play.
Paul George got hit in the face, but it doesn't matter.
He's explosive enough to finish at the rim, not only get there, but finish. I think everybody saw the move he made last year in the playoffs. Dunked! Dunked! I mean, dunked!
And who gives it to him but Lance Stevenson?
A little show and go, and then take that while you're taking things to the rim.
And Mike Brown is upset because nobody came over.
Yeah! How about that one?
Is that
you call
the
that
one?
the one?
Is that the one?
You call that the one?
That's the one.
That's the one, no doubt.
Here's George. Oh, that was fun. Two-handed reverse, and it's timeout time for the Houston Rockets as Paul George has Baker's Life Fieldhouse hopping.
Paul George inside.
Ball's taking several shots from the perimeter at the beginning of this half. Makes the decision to put his head down and go to the rim. The finish is strong in the lane.
Paul George may have had his own Q&A session at halftime.
George, step around, James. Paul George, how do you do?
Outlet, run out, behind the back, dunk by Paul George. Highlight stuff for Indiana in transition.
He has started the year with 6 20-point games. He came in as the 4th leading scorer in the league.
Got to be careful there.
What a dunk! PG!
That's careful. Dribble penetration.
Paul George drops the hammer on Big Baby.
Hammers it!
Ooh, he slams it. Gets this crowd into it.
Who can I count on? Right to Paul George. Who's going to get a little showtime.
Oh, that could be the one.
Good little showtime.
And a huge basket for the
It's a
Pacers.
big basket. Come off of it. It go down.
He got it! Paul George hits the 3 and draws the foul!
Oh my goodness. He came off of that one with some steam.
And here he goes!
Here we go.
PG
got?
puts it
Yeah! Oh, yeah, PG!
That is the one!
That has
There's
to
no
be the
question!
one. Oh,
That
my
is
goodness.
the one on Fox Sports 1 tonight. There is no doubt.